So Pajan Pyro talked about once there was a question raised to Luang Por as an example about Luang Por talked about there's two types of energy of samadhi. There's 40% of the main energy of samadhi which is kept in the mind, and there's 60% of an average energy of samadhi that is kept in the subtle body or the atisamanagaya. So that's one style of answer. But on another occasion, a monk asked Luang Por the same question, that there's energy of samadhi and where is it kept? Then on the second occasion, Luang Por's answer is different. And Luang Por said actually all the energy is kept in the mind. And we use the mind, the energy that is kept in the mind to control or to manipulate or use the atisamanagaya or the subtle body instead. So if you look at this question, Luang Por's answer is different on two different occasions. And so is this something that is contradicting himself? And Ajahn Pyro said no. And he wants to raise this situation that for great teachers like Luang Por or any other teachers, when they give an answer to a specific question, usually they would consider the listener or the one who is asking the question, which direction of answer would best benefit that particular person so that they can understand and can continue their practice. So Ajahn Pyro gave an example of like when the Buddha was teaching the Kalama Sutta, that we are not supposed to accept the Buddha's teaching based on just listening, just thinking and it goes according to our logic, or because we see it, or because it's written in the text, or because the teacher is speaking these questions to us. So there are many points of rejection where you should not just accept these teachings. But on another occasion, the Buddha would say that actually you need to accept the teachings based on the trust in karma or the trust in the realization of the Buddha, for example. So even in the Buddha's time, one question was answered differently on different occasions. So this is Ajahn Pyro's point, that when you ask these types of questions to teachers, sometimes you might get different answers according to who is listening and how would it be best benefit that particular person. And Ajahn Pyro gave an example that actually these days we as Buddhists, we have a very strange relationship to the Buddha's teaching, because we try to accumulate all the 84,000 teachings that the Buddha taught so many people and combine them into our own experience just for us. And this is actually not the way that we should engage with the teachings. Ajahn Pyro gave an example that when you eat rice, you don't eat the whole field of rice all at once. You eat only that one particular portion, that one spoon, each spoon one by one. We don't take everything and take it in all at the same time, but we have to choose and take what is necessary at that particular moment as a teaching that is needed for us. This question is concerned using samadhi for curing diseases or headaches by using samadhi of the jhanas. So the question is, what kind of samadhi is being used when we cure sickness or diseases, and what level of jhana is needed, and how intense of the jhana is needed for curing diseases. So Pajan Pyro's answer is when you use samadhi as a remedy for sickness, you have to get engaged with the point of authoritative power, the point of authority, quality of the mind. Then you have to set the intention of the mind to cure the disease, and that is what is necessary to be used. And the level of the jhana that can be used for curing diseases can be starting from the first jhana up to the fourth jhana. And it depends on the level of the intensity of the sickness. If you're not very sick, then even the first jhana might be able to cure that sickness. But if the sickness is very severe, very heavy, or very sick, then you need the deeper jhanas to cure those diseases. Ajahn Perot gave an example that it's like if you have a stomach ache or a headache, you take one tablet like as if it's in the first jhana, then that is possible to cure that sickness. But if you have cancer, then only one tablet cannot help cure that cancer. You need to go to the doctor. You need to have a surgery. So you need more intense energy of the doctors accumulated to cure that disease. So this is the same simile, that if your sickness is not very strong, only the first jhana, level of the first jhana is okay to be used. But if the sickness is very, very strong, then you would need the deeper jhanas to cure the diseases. And also, if you only stay with the lower level of samadhi, like the first jhana, sometimes you need more repetition to cure the diseases. But if you have deeper samadhi or going to the fourth jhana, for example, then maybe if you only do your cure only one time, might be okay to do that. So the way to place your mind is you have to make the mind energized, and once the mind is energized up to the point of authority, then you have to, if you do it often, then the minds become the stream of this energy, and you accumulate this stream of energy to use that samadhi for curing the diseases. This next question is about when we use our energy and practice to cultivate the 5 powers, the 5 phala energy of the mind. We try to cultivate mindfulness or sati in the 5 powers, but we cannot get in touch with Atisamanagaya, and therefore we cannot develop our divine eye. So we don't have that quality of mind. Is this going to make us not able to practice vipassana if we cannot get in touch with our subtle body or Atisamanagaya? So Prajan's answer is that whenever you develop mindfulness in the 5 powers or palaha, and once the mindfulness is developed, then the quality of awareness would make you be able to catch the process of your thoughts, the stream of thoughts. And when your mindfulness is further developed, then this palaha, 5 phala, would turn into the 5 indriya or the 5 energies, which is a more cultivated quality of the mindfulness. And so whenever your mindfulness is developed, then you would start to see that every time that you see your thoughts, there's a gap between your thoughts. Every time that one thought ceases and before the next thought arises, there would be a gap of space. And that gap of space, Prajan would call that space also kind of a trance state or mini pavanka that happens every moment, every time. Even though you don't get into the jhanas, you can actually get in touch with this momentary pavanka between each thought. So every time you get in touch with that, with developed mindfulness or awareness, then that can also be used to develop your practice of vipassana, even though you don't have the energy of the mind to get in touch with Atisamanagaya. So this, if you have this mindfulness developed, then you would go into this pavanka state with awakefulness. And it is different from when you are feeling drowsy or sleepy and getting in touch with the sense of trance or going into sleep. So it's like when Ajahn Chah, one of our great teachers, Ajahn Chah, used to say that if you are mindful of every breath that you take, then it's like you are always hearing the Buddha's teaching in every breath of that you take as well. Prajan's point is that when you have awareness or mindfulness fully developed into Samma, into the four foundations of mindfulness fully developed, then everything around you, all your experiences, both internally and externally, would be used as a teaching automatically by your mind. So you would be able to do vipassana with every phenomena, both internally and externally, without needing to get into touch with the Atisamanagaya or developing fully this divine eye. So the answer is in two parts. The first part is that if you develop your mindfulness and it's automatically seeing phenomena as it is, then you don't need to get into the deep Pavanka state, but everything that happens would become a teaching. And the second style is that you develop concentration to get in touch with the Atisamanagaya and develop your divine eye, and then use that quality to bring in all these experiences and use them as the foundation of your doing vipassana. So overall, in both ways, sati or mindfulness is at the core of what you need to develop. Okay. So this
กำลังจะถามว่าจะแปลดีไหมนิมนต์
แปลข้อ2เหมือนกันนะครับอาจารย์
แปลข้อสองครับนิมนต์ครับ
Okay, so there's one question about like how we should live together. So the question is, sometimes some of us when we go into the toilet, we go out, when we finish using the toilet, we sometimes forget to flush. And that sometimes happens. So what should we do? What should we do in this occasion? Prajan Pairod's answer is that actually this is normal because every one of us, we come here together so that we can develop our mindfulness. So it's very normal that we sometimes forget or sometimes lose our awareness of what we have been doing. So we can have make mistakes as well. So for example of himself, whenever Prajan Pairod go into the toilet and see that someone left something there and not flushing the toilet, what he would do is he would close the lid and he would make atitana or set the determination that I would happily help clean the things that comes from the previous person, the defilements from the previous person. So may in the future, if I ever have any defilements that need to be cleaned, please have someone or something, please also help me in the future. And he see that this is a chance for him to accumulate merit. So Prajan Pairod's advice is there's two ways that you can deal with a problem like this. You can complain with the problem, or you can see the situation as an opportunity for you to develop or cultivate positivity or merit. So please, when we live together, please know that everyone here is not perfect. Sometimes we forget, and please use the situation so that you can help cultivate positive qualities within yourself as well.
สุดท้ายครับจากท่านพระอาจารย์กมลภูมิ
ผมไม่สามารถแปลทั้งหมดเมื่อกี้นะครับ
ได้ครับผมครับ
So this is requested to be actually the last questions of the night. So actually not a question but a blessing. So on the Wednesday of the 11th, this is actually my birthday. So on this occasion, I would like, this is from Prajan Kamon Mahakuno, who wrote that on 11th Wednesday 11, this is Prajan's birthday, so he would like to give a wish, a blessing to all of the Sangha, the Mahasangha who is organizing this event, and all the Mahasangha who is here practicing in this practice together, so that may the blessing or the qualities of the Buddha, of our great masters from the past, starting from Luang Pu Man, Luang Pu Gongma, Luang Po Viriyan, may they become the blessing for all of us here so that we can develop in the Dhamma, develop in our businesses, in the worldly concerns, develop in our health, and develop in our practice. And may all of the positive qualities and all the blessings become true. And may all the obstacles that is blocking our development on the path be cleared away, like the flush of water that is clearing away the defilements and the jetasika that we need to purify. So, and on this occasion, he would like to offer this blessing to all of us. And Prajan Pairot would like to give the final remark that actually today someone contacted Prajan Pairot and asked to be his disciple, to ask Prajan Pairot as to become their teacher. And Ajahn Pairot want to clear that he cannot accept anyone as a student of himself because we all already have our teacher together, which is Luang Por Viriyang Srintaro, who is also a teacher of Ajahn Pairot as well. For Ajahn Pairot, he said the best that he can be is a tutor who is supporting all of us on the path of learning from our actual teacher, which is Luang Por Viriyang Srintaro. And Ajahn Pairot consider himself also as a student of Luang Por Viriyang, and he would like to offer any merit or any positivity that came from the working to support people learning Luang Por Viriyang's method, and to offer all of the good qualities and merit to Luang Por Viriyang. And all of us here, we are considered to be students of Luang Por together. And Prajan Pairot would like to emphasize that he doesn't consider himself a teacher, but also the student of Luang Por Viriyang and a tutor for the younger generations who are also studying under Luang Por Viriyang together.